So guys, we've had 2 rounds of fixtures since I last spoke to you. We've got 1 more round of fixtures coming up. The Premier League's really hotting up and we are loving it. We're into the Christmas period almost and we know what that usually means. Pressure either cracks or pressure makes diamonds. Guys, I'm going to look back at a couple of games. I'm going to look forward to the games coming up this weekend. Guys, stay tuned. Welcome to the Sanderson Show. So guys, I'll start with Arsenal, and what an eventful week. Now to begin with, Arsenal have taken 4 points out of a possible 6, and if I were to say to Arsenal fans at the beginning of this week that you'd be playing Tottenham at home, Manchester United away, and that you'd be taking 4 points, I don't think there's many Arsenal supporters that would have been too upset with that. However, after seeing how the game went against Tottenham and seeing how the game went against Manchester United, it can be argued that they'll be pretty disappointed with only taking 4 points. Now, I did predict Arsenal to win the game against Tottenham and they proved me right, and they played absolutely excellent in that game. From the first whistle to the last, they were on Tottenham. It's the most intense I've seen Arsenal play for a very long time. But add on to that, the crowd were absolutely brilliant. That's the loudest I've heard the Emirates for a very long time. It was the loudest I've heard the Emirates probably since the days of Henry, and that's saying a lot. So the crowd really played their part, and Arsenal more than played their part. Aubameyang's finish for his second goal, Henry-esque. It's the only thing I can compare it to, Henry-esque. And him, Lacazette, when Ramsey came on, they just absolutely terrorised Tottenham. But in the Manchester United game, they just couldn't find the winner. They couldn't. I mean, mistakes from David De Gea, and I mean they got their goals, but really and truly it could be argued that they should have taken 3 points from Old Trafford, and I actually expected Arsenal on the back of that Tottenham win to go to Old Trafford and give Man United a good turning over, but it wasn't meant to be. This weekend they are playing against Huddersfield at the Emirates, and I'll be honest, I don't see anything other than a dominant Arsenal performance and a dominant and impactful win. I'm going for 3 or 4-0. I think Aubameyang and Lacazette might start this game, and I think they will have far too much for Huddersfield. Huddersfield are going to come, sit, try and play a bit of football now and again, try and hit Arsenal on a counter-attack. I don't think they're going to have much to deal with Arsenal's attack though in the midfield. Torreira has been absolutely brilliant. I mean, there's stats out there comparing him to Kante at the moment. I think that's a bit early, but you can understand why it's happening because he's had such a good start to his Arsenal career. But as I said, I don't see Huddersfield getting the win. I see Arsenal putting in a dominant performance. I see them taking 3 points and continuing to march forward under the Emery evolution. So Arsenal fans, let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it going to be a routine win, or are you feeling a bit nervous about this fixture considering you've had 2 very difficult games against 2 top teams? Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So now I move on to one of Arsenal's opponents from the past week, and that is Manchester United, and it's this, isn't it? It's 2-2s, just 2-2s. They're becoming the king of drawing. They're not winning, they're not losing, but they're drawing. And if you continue to draw throughout the season, it's going to be very hard to catch up those teams ahead of you. I mean, the game that they had at the weekend where they drew 2-2, it's arguable that they could have lost that game. They could have lost that game. And then the Arsenal game, they're not convincing, are they? Like, Manchester United, where are you? Where's the real Manchester United? We don't know. And you have to put this at the feet of Mourinho, unfortunately. Selection issues, continuously going after your players, continuously bringing problems that are happening on the board to the forefront of the media, plus just this attitude on the bench. It's toxic. I hate to use the T word, but it's toxic. But don't get me wrong, it's not all Mourinho. Most of it has to lay at his feet, but when you've got Lukaku, who's taken a first touch and almost tearing his knee out of place, that's not good. We've spoken about Lukaku's first touch for now 2 seasons. and it's like the guys wearing Timberlands when he's playing football. Like, you're a top striker, your first touch shouldn't be like this. And it's hard to see where Man United are going to turn the corner. I mean, this upcoming game, they should be taking maximum points, but you just never know. You never know, do you? And that's the thing with Man United. When you used to go to Old Trafford, you used to fear for teams going to Old Trafford. Now, teams are now going to Old Trafford thinking, yeah, we can put on a display here. We can upset these lot. We can beat these lot. They are missing their fear factor. They're missing fluidity throughout the team, and they're just missing that essence that made Manchester United. That good football, that sturdiness, that will to win, that desire to avoid defeat at all costs. And I just don't know what's going to happen next. As I said, I do believe they will win this weekend, but I've been proved many times wrong this season by Manchester United. So guys, you let me know. Do you think Manchester United are going to win? Do you think they're going to lose? Or is it going to be another 2-2? Let me know in the comments below. Now I move on to the champions, and arguably the champions elect, Manchester City. Now, Manchester City haven't had as tough a fixtures as the other top 6 teams, or the quote-unquote top 6. But once again, Bournemouth dispatched of them. Watford dispatched of them. This weekend, though, is the big test. This is a big test for Manchester City. But it's a test I feel like they're going to pass with flying colours. Now, I will be speaking about Chelsea slightly later in this show, but I'm just going to focus on Man City for now. I don't see how Chelsea beat Manchester City without having a confident forward. Giroud, Morata, I do not see them causing any problems to Man City's backline. And if you cannot cause Man City's backline any problems, you are in for a long, hard afternoon of football. Fernandinho versus Kante, that's something I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that massively. I think that's going to be a great battle in midfield. But you take Hazard out of that team, or if Hazard has an off game, where are the goals coming from at Chelsea? How are Chelsea going to break Man City down to the point where Man City are hesitant to attack, or they become sloppy in possession? I don't see it. I just don't see it. I genuinely see Man City going to Stamford Bridge and winning by 2 clear goals, minimum. I don't think there's going to be any in between in this game. Either Chelsea are going to pull off a masterclass, or it's just going to be an absolute hammering. And I mean, I've spoken to Drifty from the Football Banter Show recently, and he said the exact same thing. He said it's either going to be a masterclass from Sarri or a Manchester City battering. And I am on this side a little bit. I think Man City are just going to turn Chelsea over. I think they've got too much, and unless you've got a striker or forward line that can really cause Man City problems, I think they deal with everything that you throw at them comfortably and then go in the opposite direction. We know the class they've got and we know the quality they've got. So, I mean, guys, let me know what you think. I've been accused of being called Man City biased, but I just think I call football as I see it, and they are the best team in England right now. So, I mean, guys, do you think Chelsea can do it? Or do you think Manchester City are just going to continue marching on and make it harder for the rest of the teams to keep pace? Let me know in the comments below. So we've just spoken about Man City, now we'll speak about their opponents this weekend, Chelsea. Now, Chelsea started off the week with a routine win against Fulham. It's a win they should have had, it's a win they did, and congratulations to them. However, against Wolves, they couldn't do it, could they? And Wolves have become very inconsistent this season. They've drawn a couple, they've lost to teams that you'd expect them to compete with, and they've beaten teams that you didn't expect them to beat. And they've done it now against Chelsea. So Wolves are very unpredictable when you play against them, but they're still a good team. Considering they've just come up from the Championship, they're really holding their own. But it's a game that Sarri and Chelsea would have expected to win, and I expected them to win, especially with Wolves' inconsistencies. However, again, when you're lacking that killer striker or the killer forward who can put the ball in the back of the net and close off a game, there's no one there to be seen. And I just spoke about the Man City game, and I'll speak about it from a Chelsea point of view. How do you stop Man City? How do you stop their attack? Because really and truly, when it comes to Man City, you have to fight fire with fire. The only difference is I think Man City have got too big of a flame. And I don't think Chelsea are going to be able to compete. I don't think they're going to be able to sustain a period in the game where they can just keep Man City at bay, score a couple of goals and sit back on it. If Chelsea go 2-0 up in this game, then it's theirs for the taking, because we know they can defend if they have to put on a low block. But if they have to come up the pitch and attack City, if City go ahead and they've got to go out and take the initiative and attack City with the likes of Sterling, Mahrez and Sane, Aguero, Jesus on the break, it's problems. And I'm sorry, I don't see Chelsea doing it, and it's no mean feat to lose against Man City. I've said it before, I'll say it again, it is no mean feat. But for Sarri to lose 2 games in a row, it will dent Chelsea and it will hurt. I mean, we're coming up to January. Chelsea do need a striker. You've got the likes of Icardi and all these other strikers out there. They could, Belotti, just someone who can stick the ball in the back of the net. And that's what they're lacking right now. So, I mean, Chelsea supporters, I know most of you are not happy with Morata. Who would you like potentially to see coming in January to fill that number 9 role? Leave your comments below, and also let me know, can you beat Man City? Will you beat Man City? Or Man City just going to be too strong? You know what to do. Comments below. And now we move on to Klopp's mighty Reds. Pow. 2 games, 2 wins. Get in. We love it. We absolutely love it. But these games did not come without their drama, did they? I'll start with the Merseyside derby. That game should have maybe finished 4-3. Everton had their chances. We did have more chances than Everton, but Everton had their chances as well. And no team looked like they were going to score until Jordan Pickford, who earlier in the season criticised Alisson Becker for making a mistake and claimed he wouldn't make a mistake, as the same stature as Alisson Becker, did the unthinkable and made a mistake in the Merseyside derby. And who was there? The forgotten man, Divock Origi. What could the odds have been on that before the game? For Divock Origi to come off the bench and score the winning goal. And what a bizarre circumstance. But it was a great win for Liverpool. They really needed that. We really needed that. And then you came up against Burnley, and I'll be honest, I saw the starting lineup for the Burnley game and I thought, no Robertson, Gomez playing right back, Matip playing, the midfield, and then the whole of the front 3 change. You had Origi, Sturridge and Shaqiri, and I thought, going to Turf Moor and doing that on a cold Wednesday night. But once again, they did what, dare I say it, champions do. They rotated and got the win, and it was so important. And I've looked at Liverpool in the past, and whenever we've made wholesale changes, we've never been able to keep up that intensity and maintain that quality. However, in this game we did. Burnley's first goal shouldn't have counted, it was offside. But the response from Liverpool after going a goal down was absolutely brilliant. Milner's finish was excellent. Couldn't have placed it any better. Could not have placed it any better. Van Dijk's touch across the box for Firmino, and how happy are Liverpool supporters that Bobby scored. He deserved that, he needed that for his confidence. And then the final goal, Alisson Becker literally top bins, fingertips it out. Then he collects the ball, throw to Sturridge, left-footed pass, another left-footed pass from Salah, left-footed finish from Shaqiri. Beautiful, and it was a great win for Liverpool and a great week. However, they cannot rest on their laurels, especially with Man City just continuing to gather pace. And this game against Bournemouth at the weekend is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy at all. Eddie Howe's going to really have his players up for this game. Now, Eddie Howe has played most of the teams from the top 6 now, and he's come up short in all of these games. He's not going to want to come up short against Liverpool. And this is probably the worst time to be playing Bournemouth, because they are going to want to get at Liverpool, and they are going to want to stop this rut against the top 6 teams. And also, Liverpool losing Gomez is a big loss, especially with the form Callum Wilson's in. Callum Wilson, in my opinion, is going to stick on Matip and try and force mistakes out of him. I don't think he's going to try and play off Virgil, because we all know Virgil's top class and you're not going to get much change out of him. Matip, there's a chance. He's going to give you a chance in the game. And Liverpool has to be solid. I think the original front three of Mane, Firmino and Salah will start this game. But one player that has to start is Naby Keita. He was the difference on Wednesday. He was absolutely brilliant. Our new number 8 really showed his worth in that game and just what a player he could become. So he has to start in that game. But guys, what do you think Liverpool's starting 11 should be for this game? If Robertson's fit, then obviously I think he comes back into the team. But I mean, do you think Moreno played well enough? I'm going to leave that to your opinion. I've got mine. But guys, let me know what you think Liverpool's starting 11 should be, and let me know if you think Bournemouth are going to be able to beat Liverpool, or whether Liverpool are going to continue to pile the pressure on Man City. Comments below. And finally, we end the show with Tottenham Hotspur, who have had an indifferent week, so didn't start off well. They were 2-1 up against Arsenal and they bottled it. They did what Tottenham do sometimes and they bottled it. And it's the one time I would have thought Tottenham would have really made a go of it. And I know I said Arsenal would win the game, but I didn't expect Tottenham to collapse and fold the way they did. Not under Poch, the way Poch had been playing. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Arsenal. They bounced back very well in the week. But it was a game they should be winning. So playing this weekend, they have to maintain that momentum. They have to keep on playing the way they're playing. They have to ensure that they keep pace. They keep pace. In January, they need to sign someone. They need reinforcements. Those players will burn out. I still think they'll finish top 4. But really and truly, I think if Tottenham sign 1 or 2 players, they can push higher than top 4. They really can. They can push Liverpool for second. I don't think they'll push City for the league. I currently think they'll finish 3rd this season, but if they sign a player or 2, it could force me to change my mind, especially if those players come in and have a good impact. So I expect them to win at the weekend. I expect them to have a good performance. I expect them to maintain their momentum, and I expect them to finish top 4 at the end of the season. So Tottenham fans, I mean, I know how you must be devastated after the Arsenal performance, but do you think that the result was harsh, or do you think it was fair? What was your thoughts on the Southampton game, and what's your thoughts for the upcoming game this weekend? So as always, guys, thank you very much for joining me. And as always, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on this video, and please share this video with your family and friends. I need to get out there a bit more. Tell me what I could do in your opinion to improve the show, and if you want to come on and be a guest on the Sanderson show, please don't hesitate. Leave a comment below, we'll speak and we'll go from there. As always, guys, have a great one. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Take care.